Greetings once again. My name is Ollie, and here's your loaf of daily bread. Today's loaf of bread comes to us from Manly P. Hall, and he says, "When you can mold your thoughts, emotions, and actions into faithful expressions of your highest ideals, then liberty is yours. For ignorance is the darkness of chaos, and knowledge is the light of cosmos." I would like to approach this quote backwards. I would like to start at the end and work my way in reverse. What do you value? What are some of your highest ideals? Before you can begin to mold your thoughts, emotions, and actions into faithful expressions of these, it's probably helpful to figure out what they are in the first place. In other words, if you want to embody your values, if you want to become a living, breathing expression of your core beliefs, you first have to know what those beliefs are. You first have to know what you value and what you admire in others and what you wish to aspire to. So that's the first step. Before you can begin to live these things out, you have to figure them out. You have to realize what it is that you value, and you have to make some conscious decisions about this. Once you determine what these values are, what these ideals are that you aspire to live by, then you can slowly but surely start to mold your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors into faithful expressions of them. But you can't do that unless you know exactly what you're aiming for, unless you know what you value above all else, unless you know what these highest ideals are for you. And no one can tell you what it is, because each one of us has to decide it for his or herself. First and foremost, this quote to me is a call to action. It's a call to action. It's an invitation to study yourself and to determine what your highest ideals are. Once you've done that, you can start to create a plan for yourself, a system that will help you to mold your thoughts, emotions, and actions into faithful expressions of those ideals that you've determined, that you've discovered, or that you've placed at the very top of the chart, the highest priority items. This is why I ended up creating my own belief system, my own philosophy of life. Now, I use the word create very loosely because I didn't actually create this belief system. I merely assembled it from pieces which were already in existence. But nevertheless, I assembled it in such a way as to make it conform to my nature and my aptitudes and my tendencies. So it fits me very, very comfortably because it's tailor-made. And the reason that I took the time and the trouble to make this philosophy of life for myself is because that's what I needed in order to be able to mold my thoughts, emotions, and behaviors into faithful expressions of my values and my ideals. Because even if you do what I suggested and you figure these things out for yourself and come to realize that you value equanimity above all other things, or that you value honesty above all other things, that's very nice and that's all good, but knowing it and then putting it into action are two different things. And for me, having a formal system, a set of principles that I can look to for guidance, a set of practices that put my ideals and my values top of mind at all times, that was a must. Without it, I couldn't be as consistent as I am today. So to recap, step one, determine what you value. Determine what you hold dear. Discover your highest ideals. Step two, develop a system or a method to help you live these ideals out in your everyday life. And then step three, constantly observe and refine this method. Because anything that is rigid, dogmatic, set in stone, and unwilling or incapable of evolving is dead. It is a skeleton, and it can never help you. It has to be a living, breathing system that evolves as you evolve, that changes as your perspective changes. And this is nothing but a guide. It's a trick. It's a convenience. It's a way for you to hold your values and your ideals at the very top of your mind and to never lose sight of them. Or at least to lose sight of them very rarely. At least that's what I've come to discover for myself and through my own experiences. I'd be interested to hear about your experiences, especially if they differ from mine, because that's the only way that I can expand and learn, is to be exposed to different, new, and opposing ideas. So please don't be shy. Drop me a comment. Tell me what you think, and tell me how your views differ from my own. Hopefully I'll catch you in the comments section. If not, no worries. Maybe next time. Live well, my friends.